नरघट तक है तेरी कहानी पग पग प्यारे दंगल 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 सूरज तेरा चढ़ता ढलता गर्दिश में करते हैं तारे दंगल 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 दंगल.
Great morning, my dear friends. Bhupesh Anand this side. So today we'll be starting with lecture number 2, international trade and capital flows. It means a trade of one country with another country, that is named as trade flow. Capital from one country to another country, that is named as capital flow. So in this reading we are basically focused on international trade and capital flows. And we will be discussing today what are the pros and cons of international trade and capital flows. Basically, we will be focusing towards international trade flows. So my dear friends, we have discussed in the last lecture, that is in lecture number 1, what is the difference between gross domestic product and gross national product. What are the things which we include in GDP, and we are basically towards domestic barriers in the national boundaries, and in GNP what are the basic logic behind that. So we have discussed two points, GDP and GNP. So today, in today's lecture number 2, I will be starting with learning outcome number B. That is learning outcome number B. And in this, I will be discussing one of the most basic logic question, intuitive question, that if one country trades with another country, if India trades with China or China trades with USA, what are the benefits of international trade? And what are the cost of international trade? It means whether international trade should be allowed or not, whether it should be free or not, or whether there should be some restrictions. So we will be evaluating those discussions in terms of benefits of international trade flows and cost of international trade flows. So my dear friends, please take out your registers. Lecture number 2, no defeat is final until you stop trying. So lecture 2, international trade and capital flows, learning outcome number B, describe benefits and cost of international trade. So the first point which I want to tell you that, can you tell me, let's have a discussion and then we will be switching over to that what is the basic logic behind that. Now please tell me, that as per you, if now we have to discuss from the broad point of view, from broader point of view, not from India's point of view, not from specific countries' point of view. We have to think it from world economy point of view, that this is one country, India, and if the trade, if the goods are being exported from this country to this country, let this country be X country, and goods are exported to this as well as goods are imported to this India. Now whether it will be beneficial for India or whether it will be beneficial for that country, so we have to discuss the positives, the benefits and the cost. Now please do tell me that if we purchase the goods from China, a very hot example, if China's goods are being easily available in India, and they are available at a lower cost, and they are available at a good quality, if I add this also. Now the point is whether Chinese goods should be allowed to be imported in India, or whether Indian authorities should allow to import Chinese goods, and whether Chinese authorities should allow the export from India to China. So whether this international trade will be a better option or not. Now, before going to start with the discussion, I just want to tell you a thumb rule. The thumb rule is that international trade on an average will always be a win-win position. At last, in long run, it will be a beneficial position for both the countries. This is a thumb rule. No doubt we'll be starting with the discussion that why this happened, what are the benefits for that. Now, can you tell me what are the benefits for international trade? For example, if I say in India, we are mainly focused on agriculture. Supposedly we are more concerned with agricultural products, or we are masters in softwares. If we are masters in softwares, or we are masters in automobiles, and let the other country be master in electronics, let the other country be master in other FMCG products. Now what will happen? That country will focus on FMCG, that country will focus on electronic products, and will produce more, and there will be economies of scale. Think it broader perspective. And if I see from India's point of view, if they are masters in agriculture, agriculture product, they will be doing more better production in agriculture. They will be having more automobile if automobile sector is good. And similarly, Infosys, Wipro, TCS, all these companies, they will be more focusing towards software, and they will be exporting. So the point is, ultimately there will be economic welfare whenever there is a trade in between one country to another country, because the wide variety of products will be available. There will be huge competition. There will be economies of scale, and the resources which are limited resources. Water is limited, that is limited, land is limited, raw material is limited, labor is limited. That resource will be better utilized. Better allocation of resources will be there. So I am telling you what are the benefits if one country X allows exports and imports from another country, and another country also allows exports and imports from another country. This type of scenario is named as a free trade scenario. Now the point is, no doubt it has some cost also. We will be watching that. What are the costs? What are the points to be taken care of? Supposedly this country India is not technologically sound as compared to this country. So in this case, if India is not so much technologically sound as compared to this country, it may happen that the product which is better in this country will be imported here, and that the industry, Indian industry for that particular sector, maybe in short run may be closed, because they are not doing efficient work, they are not using the best technology, and now they have to face with the global competition. They have to face with the global players. So what is the harm in that? Even if they were working inefficiently, but it may be possible that in India, some firms may be doing efficient work. They are using more better technology, so they will survive. Ultimately, it is a survival of the fittest. So we are comparing the benefits and the cost of international trade. No doubt there are some costs and there are some benefits, but at the last, I will say as a thumb rule, it is better to have an international trade, because ultimately there will be net benefit. The person who has gained can share that benefit to the other persons, because it may be possible that you are specialized in one particular product and you go on producing that product. You will enjoy the rule of specialization, the benefit of specialization, as per Maslow's need hierarchy theory. So let's start with the journey. What is the meaning of international trade? First point, what are the benefits for that? And then we'll be discussing with some case studies. The first point is free international trade. Now, firstly, I have started with the discussion. What I mean by free international trade. Free international trade among countries will increase overall economic welfare. This is the thumb rule. This is a thumb rule. At last, it will be increasing employment. It will be, creating the opportunities. It will be creating the competition, and ultimately the consumer will be beneficial. Cost per unit will come down, and resources will be better utilized. So hence, we are surviving on Earth, on this Earth planet, and there will be a benefit of, so many figures, so many. Hence, economic welfare will be there. So first point is free international trade among countries will increase overall economic welfare. Second point, countries can specialize in the production of export goods. If I am specializing, if my hobby is to teach finance, I will be teaching on finance, and I will be creating more better results as compared to if I'm doing all the different products. If I'm teaching this text as well as this, as well as this, as well as this, so I cannot enjoy the specialization benefits. So similar is the case with the countries. If that country is specializing in a particular product or in a particular sector, then that country can put emphasis on that, and hence specialization benefits, economies of scale benefits can be there. So second point is countries can specialize in the production of export goods and enjoy benefits of economies of scale. Economies of scale. At the real case studies with China, China is enjoying economies of scale when they are producing more units, ultimately the synergy benefits, the economies of scale is there. Economy welfare. Now, what is the meaning of economic welfare? This is testable, so that's why I've given a separate point for that. What I mean by economic welfare? When I say economic welfare from the broader perspective point of view, it will have a greater product variety. More variety will be there. When we allow international trade, then that too free international trade, it means I can buy from Australia, Australian can buy from India, I can buy from China, China can buy from India. There are no restrictions to that. That will enjoy, will be available with so many different types of products, and more competition will be there, and survival of the fittest, and ultimately the consumer will be at beneficial, and highest allocation of resources will be there. So these are the some of the economic benefits which will be enjoyed in case of international trade. So let us start with example number one, just to substantiate my point. Supposing there are 5 countries, A, B, C, D, and E, and A and B. Supposedly I am talking of A and B, that B, country B is technologically very sound. If I assume that is country B is more technically sound, more having a technological development as compared to country A. Now the point is, if country A allows import from country B, then it can ruin the domestic industry of country A, because they are not so much technologically sound. That industry is not technically sound. For example, in case of USA, textile industry, that is not technically sound, so they have started importing from China. So the point is, the textile industry in USA will close down. Now whether it will be beneficial or not, yes, it will be beneficial, because inefficient firms, they will close down, but it may be possible that textile industry in USA who are doing good efficient work, they will perform better, or the other industry, in USA, they will be doing better. So it can be in the both way. So if I say that there are 5 countries, A, B, C, D, E, and there are different scenarios which I have given to use just for understanding purpose. Scenario one can be that, should country B allows its citizen to import certain goods from country A. So supposedly you are a prime minister, you are a minister of a country, and now you have to think it from country's point of view, that whether my citizen should be allowed to import the goods from that country, and whether my country should be allowed to export the goods to that country. Now these can be different types of thought process which we can have. Now the point is, yes, if it is being allowed to import, or it is allowed to export, or it is allowed to export or import, as the case may be, if there is free trade, there is no restriction to that. Now there can be two possibilities, that there is a free trade and there are no restrictions, one can go and come, and secondly, there are restrictions to that. Yeah, that this can be imported, this component can be imported, or there is no import allowed, or 100% custom duty will be charged, like this. So what will happen in that case? So I have written those possibilities as well, but again I am telling you as a thumb rule at the end of the lecture. Today's lecture I will be telling you that international trade at the end will be helping us in economic welfare. It means that there will be a case of net benefit. So there can be two possibilities. Option A, if trade flows are completely free, and option B, if there are some restrictions in trade flow. If they are free, then no problem, and in case of some restrictions are there, then what will happen? Restriction one can be not to import anything from that country. It can be, I've just given the examples, or they are allowing to import with 100% levy of import duty, because if we charge duty, then it will become costlier, the cost will become double, and then these are the restrictions. So the point is, we have to discuss the benefits and the cost of international trade. Hope I have conveyed my idea in regard to benefits of international trade, and I am on to international trade. Now what are the costs involved in that? So that is again an issue. Then we will be comparing the benefits of international trade and cost of international trade. The costs are primarily the loss of those in domestic industries, especially less efficient producers. It is very important, because once we are purchasing from China, there are so much domestic industries which have been closed down now. Unemployment has increased, but they were inefficient. The point is inefficiency. They are not using best technology. So cost can be this. Some domestic industries will get benefit from free trade policies, because if the import is being allowed, we will be purchasing that raw material at X rupees from domestic country. Now we will be purchasing the raw material from that country, importing that raw material from that country at X rupees minus something. So that cost will be decreased. For example, in case of steel industries, or in case of automobile industries. Earlier automobile industries in India, they were purchasing steel from domestic steel manufacturer, and the huge cost is there. But if steel is being allowed to import from China, from Australia, now Indian domestic automobile industries, they can purchase that raw material steel from Australia, from New Zealand, and they can decrease their cost, and ultimately this benefit, this reduction in cost, that will be flowed, that will be given to the customers, and customer will be at the beneficial point. So what is the fun in purchasing high cost of goods? So the point is we are comparing the benefits of international trade with the cost of international trade. Say fifth point, some domestic industries will get benefit from free trade policies. Now the point is, there is argument that what is to be done. Some argue that greater income inequality may be outcome as a free international trade. It means rich will become more richer and poorer will become more poorer, and there will be huge disparity between the economy. But overall, I will say overall, the economy will be there due to liberalization, due to globalization. There will be a huge benefit in the economy. Just see the impact of globalization. This is impact of globalization, that if this economy moves, there will be increased trade and greater competition, economies of scale, increased capital, tax avoidance, structural monopoly power of multinationals will be reduced. So hence international trade is must, because the net benefits are more as compared to the cost. So the point is, we have just given so that winners could compensate the losers and still be better off. So I have given the case study of steel industry, automobile industry, earlier automobile industry, domestic automobile manufacturers. They were purchasing raw material at a costlier rate from the domestic steel manufacturers, but now because import is being allowed, they can purchase at a lower cost from the outsiders, and hence cost per automobile can be reduced, which will be delegated, which will be passed on to the consumer. So as in the next case study, I have just told you, in case of China, China is doing a huge greater work nowadays in trade flows, international trade flows, even the exporting to USA, to other Asian countries, to every country in this world. And ultimately, what the benefit is there? If USA is purchasing textile from China at a lower cost, their cost will reduce and it will be passed to consumers. And what will be the benefit to the China? In China, employment will generate, and better utilization of resources will be there, economies of scale will be there, and hence I can say at a broader aspect, economic welfare will be there. So this is lecture number 2. This is Bhupesh Anand. I have today told you something about learning outcome number B. That is, what are the benefits and what are the cost of international trade. Hope you have enjoyed it. Be happy, be jolly, be cheerful.